Good evening students, my name is Vijay Soni and I am before you to continue my lecture on tenses and their interchanges. In the last video only, we discussed several things. We discussed verb first. Verb first means repeated mode of action in present. Repeated mode of action in present mean whatsoever happens in any noun's life that is presented with the help of verb first. It goes with which adverbs? It goes with daily, it goes with usually, it goes with occasionally, it goes with often, 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 it goes with never, it goes with always, it goes with every of that adverb or adverbial phrase which shows repetition. Like if you say once a day, if you say twice a day, thrice a day, 5 times a day, once a year, once a month, once a week, like that. Okay, so in that way we can understand them well. Which form of verb goes with which kind of adverbs? So at the last lecture was ended. The last lecture was ended on the topic two actions in past, right? So two actions in past. Whenever we are presenting two actions in past, there can be two conditions. Either they are simultaneous, or they are consecutive, right? Either they are simultaneous or they are consecutive. Simultaneous actions. Simultaneous means which happen together. They are called simultaneous actions. And the second thing is consecutive. Either they are simultaneous or they are consecutive. So when they are consecutive means when one is happening after another. जब एक उनमें से कोई एक पहले हो रहा है and the another one is happening after that, right? So simultaneous and consecutive, these two conditions are there. Now let us see the examples. First we will take the example of consecutive actions. Like suppose I talk about yesterday I got up at 6 a.m. right? Yesterday I got up at 6 a.m. but my mother got up at 5:30 a.m. My mother got up at 5:30 a.m. So if I compare the time, I'll find my mother's time of getting up is 30 minutes earlier my time of getting up. So if I present both of these actions all together, how can I write them? My mother had awakened before I awoke, because I did the action after my mother, right? That's why mother's action will be written in had plus third form. Means past perfect, and my action will be written in second form, right? So these are called consecutive actions. So whenever you are given fill in the blanks kind of exercises, or you are given the interchanges kind of exercises, you can understand them in that way, right? What goes with what? So past perfect always goes with past indefinite, right? There are some other conditions also. I'll let you know, I'll express them. So this thing can be written in some more ways. I'm telling you in what more ways this thing can be written. You can write it in this way also. I awoke after my mother. This time I have used after, because this action happened after that action, after mother's actions. So I will write I awoke after my mother had awakened. Okay, there is one more way. When I awoke then we'll put comma, whenever we write some complex sentence starting with when or while or if, we put comma before starting the next clause, right? We don't use any kind of conjunction over here. So my mother, at that time my mother had done this thing already. So my mother had awakened. So this is the condition of presenting. These are the ways of presenting two consecutive actions in past, right? What? Past perfect, then before, then past indefinite. Past perfect, then before, then past indefinite. Okay, then past indefinite, after, then past perfect, right? Or you can use when also. So when, after that past indefinite, then past perfect, right? Now let us see simultaneous. Actions, and you can make note of all these sentences by pausing the video, right? Please pause the video and note all these things. Okay, now simultaneous actions we are going to talk about. Simultaneous actions, usually we say when I was learning my lesson, my brother was playing. It means both the actions were happening at the same time. Because both have same forms of action. When I was learning my lesson, my brother was playing or watching a movie, right? So I can say when, or you can use while also at the time of presenting two actions in past. If the first one is in continuous form, if the first action is in continuous form, you can use when or while, any one of them, right? So when or while I was studying. Once again the same thing, comma. I'll be using comma over here, not then, then. Usually the students do what? When they start the sentence with when, or they start the sentence with if, they put then over there. That is error. So please take care. Don't put any kind of conjunction over here whenever you are starting the sentence with when or while or if, right? Okay, so they we are talking about some boys, suppose. So they were playing chess. So the first doer is I was doing something. What I was doing? I was studying. Put some object also over here. I was studying mathematics. Because we have used study over here. So when I was studying mathematics, they were playing chess. So both of these actions were happening at the same time. Both of these actions were happening at the same time. So these are simultaneous actions. Take one more example. When I was learning my lesson. Somebody knocked at the door. This time, see, I have started this sentence with when and then was learning, and the same thing I can use while also, because the first action is being presented in continuous mode. Was, then ing form, past continuous. Was means past and ing form means continuous, so past continuous. So while or when I was learning my lesson mean during that period of time. When I was learning means, suppose I started learning at 5 p.m. right? And I was continuously doing that. I did not stop that till 6, right? And at 5:45 somebody knocked at the door. So the action of knocking at the door took place while I was studying. So both of them are simultaneous actions. So while or when I was learning my lesson, somebody knocked at the door. Verb second, verb second. It means somebody happened during somebody was happening. Somebody happened suddenly during something was happening. So something happened suddenly while something was happening. Okay, right. Like you can take example, when he was, a very natural sentence, a very natural example. When he was crossing the road, when he was crossing the road, a car knocked him down. A car knocked him down. Now see. When he was crossing the road, mean a person was doing something. A person was in action. A person was in continuous mode, right? He was crossing the road actually. He was crossing the road, and suddenly, you know what happened? During that time only, a car came over there. He was crossing the road, and suddenly a car came over there and hit that person. Something happened suddenly. So that would be written in second form only. Right? Something was happening, and during that time only something happened. So this is also a combination, right? You can, once again the same thing, you can pause the video and make a note of all these sentences. Take some more examples. Sometimes what happens? Suppose someday you came home. You stepped into your house. And suddenly light went. You stepped into your house and at the same time the light went, the current went, the electricity went. Means second form, means a single action of past. Something hua tha, right? And in the same way, he stepped into his house. It means that also something what hua tha, right? So two things at the same time. So we can write this kind of information we can give in this way. As soon as he stepped into his house, the current went. As soon as he stepped into the house, the current went. So as soon as, whenever we use as soon as, both of the actions are presented into past indefinite only, because both of them are sudden actions. Both of them, the first one took place. He stepped into his house. That happened. And as soon as mean at the same time, with the very, very small difference, right? With the very small difference, second action also happened. That's why we can say as soon as I left for school. As soon as I left for school, it started raining. STARTED, second form once again. So whenever I start the sentence with as soon as, I use both second forms. Okay, at both of the places, right? So that is also simultaneous actions, right? So and there can be two actions in past continuous also, right? Okay, now let us take the example of future perfect in the same way. Sometimes suppose You have not completed your work. You have not completed your work, your homework you have not completed, and you and your friends, your friends and you are discussing about that thing. Somebody says you, once you have not completed your work, sir will definitely scold you hard. He will beat you hard. And I say, okay, sir will come in fourth period, na? Sir will come in fourth period, and this is the first period only. I have got third period free. So I'll complete that. Before I'll complete that thing before sir means something like that. I'm not expressing this sense completely because I just want to make feel this thing what I want to say. Whenever you want to express that you will complete something, and you give the time reference also. You tell the time reference also in this, like you were doing the same thing in past also, that something was done. After that something happened. So the first action is written in had plus third form past perfect, and the second action which happened afterwards, that is written in past perfect. So that is the limit of past perfect, that the action had taken place before that action or by that action. In the same way, the things are presented in future also. Sometimes you give promises to complete some action, and you give limit also. This kind of promises are given usually by the students to their teachers. You know how? Sir, I shall have completed my works. Sir, I shall have completed my work by Wednesday. By Wednesday, I shall have. Okay, I shall have. So whenever you are giving the limit of completing the action in future, that is future perfect. And it goes with present indefinite. It doesn't go with future indefinite. Don't take it in the way past perfect goes with past indefinite. So future perfect will go with future indefinite. No, my dear. No. That is something wrong. That is something wrong. Keep this thing, remember. That is an error. Past perfect goes with past indefinite. That is okay. But future perfect goes with present indefinite. Like you says to your teacher. I shall have completed my lesson. I shall have completed my lesson. I have used how many things I have used over here as the helping verb. I have used shall. It means future. Will or shall means future. Simply very simple thing that is. So as I have to show future, that's why I have used shall with I. And then have. Okay, have. Whenever I use have to present some action, this is a must that I'll be using third form of verb. Has family goes with third form only, right? Completed. And whenever has family, any member of has family goes with third form, that makes perfect tense, right? So will have plus third form, it means future perfect. So I shall have completed my lesson. Now definitely I'll tell some or the other time limit over here. Otherwise I cannot write it in this way. If I'm not telling the limit, if I'm not telling the time of completion of that action, right? You cannot write in perfect mode. You can never do that thing in past perfect also. Without time expression, without limit, you cannot write. Then write the thing simply in indefinite mode. Do not write that in perfect mode, right? So I will write over here before the teacher comes. Here you are presenting your completion of action with the arrival of teacher, and you wanna say that your action will be first out both of these actions, your completion of action, your completion of your lesson, right, and the teacher's arrival. There are two things. and you want to pass the information to your friends that your action will be the first. Your action will be the first. You will make it happen. You are going to make it happen. That your action will happen first. The teacher will come after that. So this information will be presented in this way. First future perfect, then present indefinite, right? So I shall have completed my lesson before the teacher comes. My mother shall have taken bath before I get up. Before I get up. Shall have taken future perfect before I get up. Get up first form present indefinite, right? If I present the same thing in past, what it would be? It would be my mother had taken bath. Past, had plus verb third, past, right? Past perfect. My mother had taken bath before I get up. No. Get up means present indefinite. Here I have started talking about past perfect, so that will go with past indefinite. So I'll be saying before I got up. My mother had taken bath before I got up. It means the action of mother's taking bath was the first action, and the action of my getting up was the second action. In the same way, future, I shall have taken bath before my mother has taken bath before I get up. I shall have taken bath before my mother gets up. Now my action is the first and my mother's action is the second. Is that or not? So this is the thing, okay? Now, so these were some things, very important things, and I am going to tell you sometime about some expression also, difference between the times, like point of time. There is point of time. And then there is one more thing, there is expressed time. Expressed time. What is the difference between pointed time and expressed time? You know what pointed times are? Pointed times are what? You know, indefinite mode means pointed time. Indefinite mode means pointed time. Continuous mode means continuous mode. Continuous mode means pointed time. Expressed time means perfect and perfect continuous. Perfect and perfect continuous, right? Indefinite, continuous, indefinite, express time, perfect and perfect continuous, right? These two modes go with expressed time. They have got expressed time, mean limits. They have got limits. They express a complete information. Express time means complete information. When the thing was started, when the action was started, and when it was ended. They tell complete. Very simple example I can give you. I am teaching right now. Right now I am teaching. Suppose somebody calls me. I attend the call, and when he asks me, what are you doing? What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? Right now. What are you doing at present? What are you doing presently? What are you doing now? What are you doing at the moment? At the moment. So at the moment, at present, presently, now. These are the adverbs which go with continuous. Present continuous. Present continuous. Now I'm showing you the difference with the help of some examples. Okay, it will be really something very interesting, right? Okay, see, suppose I say, very usually you ask this question: where are you living now? Or you can say nowadays, or you can say these days, or you can say these days. You can say these days. So these definitely, you know, these are the sign of present continuous. Now, nowadays, these days, you can use presently, whenever you are telling the action which is happening at present, you can use all these things, all these adverbs or adverbial phrases. At present, you can use now also, at present, presently, at the moment also, at the moment you can use, and you can do right now also, right now, what are you doing right now? So these are the adverbs which are used in present continuous also. You know what can happen, like if you say where were you living, suppose you say where were you living, right? If you say where were you living, so what kind of adverb you can use over here? At that time. What is the difference? At this time, at that time. I have not used at this time over here. At this time or this time only. At this time or this time only. At is not compulsory over here. At is not compulsory over here. So at this time and at that time, this is the difference. At this time shows what? Present. At that time shows what? Past. Or in place of it, you can use then. What were you doing then? What were you doing then? What were you doing then? What were you doing at that time? What were you doing then? Or what were you doing at that times, right? So these are called pointed times. Right? And they are used in continuous. You can see these are used in present continuous, and these are used in past continuous. And then in future continuous also you can use these expressions only are used in future continuous. This time and that time also can be used in future, both of them, and then can be used. Now cannot be used in future. That can be used in present only, right? And suppose I talk about the difference between since for. What is the difference between since for and pointed times? What I have shown you, like I am teaching now, and I say I have been teaching now. Oh my god, one of them is wrong. Now is okay with am. Now is okay with them. Now is okay with what? Now is okay with is RM. I have been teaching now. Okay. This is the error. Okay, so what we can use? We can use since 4 o'clock. And now this is I think 8 o'clock. So how many hours I have taught? 4 hours. 4 hours. Whenever the time is presented in numbers, we use for, and whenever the time is presented with name, we use since, like January, February, Sunday, Monday, with the name. And with the counting, whenever we present the time in the form of numbers, we use for. This is the difference, right? So whenever we are talking about a particular moment, that is continuous only. And whenever we are giving the information of beginning the action, we are giving the information of beginning the action also. We are not talking about the time when it is happening. We are expressing the time when it was started, right? So I started, it means if I started if I have been teaching for 4 hours, and this is 8 right now. So when did I start? I started at 4, right? Okay, and if I present in this way, I have been teaching since 4 o'clock, and now this is 8. So how many hours I have taught? I have taught for 4 hours. I have taught for 4 hours. So if I want to express for how many hours, like if you want to know the period of someone's residing in at a particular place, how can you ask? Like I have been living in Meerut. I have been living in Meerut, Delhi, Calcutta, Bareilly, any city. I have been living in Meerut since 1990, or you can say since childhood, or you can say since birth, right? I have studied. I have studied. Here you are showing what? Here you are showing perfection. Here you are showing perfection. You are just going to inform. You are just going to inform the duration of your studying, of your learning something. For how many hours did you do that work? Right? So that will be told in past perfect. I have studied. I have studied. I have studied for. I have studied for 5 hours today. I have studied for 4 hours today. Mean you are reporting, you are giving the information about, you are giving the information of your study time, today's study time. So as a whole, you are giving a complete information. You are giving a complete information, so that will be written in this way. I have studied for 5 hours today. I have studied for 5 hours today. Right? So this is the difference. This is the difference between expressed time and pointed time. Right? See some more examples. We are going to see. Suppose you say, I get up at 6 a.m. This is what? This is a habit. This is telling someone's routine. This is present indefinite. Subject, then verb first. I get up at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. mean this thing happens daily on 6 a.m. This is showing the habit. This is showing the habit of I. Right? If you say I got up at 6 a.m. So if you have used got second form, it means you are giving the information of an action which is no more now, which had taken place, which has gone, right? So second form, I got up at 6 a.m. But if you say I got up by or before 6 a.m. Oh my God, now this is something wrong, because your action happened before 6 a.m. because by or before both show that the thing happened before this time, right? So it should be written in perfect. I had got up by or before 6 a.m. Okay, now take some examples. First one, when we reached school, comma, the bell, and the verb which is to be filled over here is ring. Now you tell me which form of verb will be filled over here. When we reached school. After that, second form of verb. Okay. This is the example of consecutive actions. If I find second form of action with when, definitely next action will be written in had plus third form, had run, right? So if you know these things, you can convert up the sentence of a particular tense into some other tense, right? Like he'll go there. He'll go to America. He'll go to America, and then I write in 2020. Is that okay? In 2022. Is that okay? What is the time expression in 2020? This is pointed time. So sentence can be only in indefinite, either in indefinite, future indefinite. This is the pointed time of future. So whenever we have got the pointed time of future, we have two options. Either it can be written in future indefinite or in future continuous, right? It cannot be written in perfect or perfect continuous, right? So that's why I have used will go, future indefinite. So that is okay with it. There is no error, right? But if I say He will go to America. He will go to America before 2020. Before 2020. Before 2020. I have already told you, whenever you have got this type of time expression, by or before plus any point of time. By or before plus any point of time. That means expressed time. That means expressed time. That means you are giving the complete information. So your action should be written. Your action should be written in perfect form. It means I should use will have gone over here. I should use will have gone over here. Okay. So that is the thing. Okay. Okay. Then now take some more things. Some more things we are going to take. Suppose I say. Some very nice kind of sentences. Take some very nice kind of sentences. Take some examples of state verbs. Like suppose you are talking about the love between you and your mother. Your mother's love for you. It means it happens always. It always happens. A mother loves her son or her daughter always. It happens. It starts happening as soon as that child takes birth. It starts happening. A mother's love starts at the time of child's birth, right? And it goes on. And suppose at the time when the child is 16 years old, that time he wants to express the whole time space, the whole time duration of her mother's love for him, right? So how can he write it? Because love is state verb. That is not dynamic verb. That can never be written in ing form. Like know, like love, like know, like love, like recognize, like understand, they are state verbs. So they can never be written in continuous form. So if I and you, if you and I are aware of each other, right? And we met in 2000. So total period now in 2020. Total year is 3 years. Total period is 3 years. Period of our acquaintance, right? So I have known you. I will be writing this thing. I will be presenting this information. I will be presenting this particular statement in present perfect. I have known you since 2016. Because no cannot be written in ing form. That's why I have not expressed this particular sentence in present perfect continuous, despite I have got expressed time since plus 2016. Any other action can be presented in present perfect continuous, suppose whenever that is dynamic. Every dynamic action. But whenever we have got some state verb, we can express that in perfect tense only. We cannot write it like I have been knowing you. I have been knowing you since 2016. No, that is wrong. Because no cannot be expressed in continuous. You can never say my mother has been loving me since my birth. No. My mother has loved me. My mother has loved me since my birth. I have known him since birth. Rahul is my friend. I know him since childhood. No. Since childhood. You have said since childhood, expressed time. So you cannot present the sentence in present indefinite. Present indefinite goes with adverbs of repetition, my dear. This is what. Here I am talking about what. What was the sentence that I spoke before you? I know you since birth. That is something wrong. No means indefinite, present indefinite. It go with repetition. And that is not repetition since childhood. That is not repetition, that is express time. So I should say, I have known you, I have known you, I have known you, I have known you since childhood, I have known him since childhood, I have known him since childhood, right? And other actions, dynamic actions can be written in has been, have been plus ing form, had been plus ing form, will have been or shall have been plus ing form, whenever you are expressing, whenever you are giving, whenever you are giving express time, right? They can be do in that form, right? Okay, like they have been living in this city since 1995, right? Very right. Have been plus ing form since 1995. That is okay. That is very nice. So this was all about pointed times and express time. In my next video, I'll tell you so many other things also, so many interesting things. Okay. Till then, please repeat all these things, revise all these things. You are going to have a great knowledge of tenses and interchanging them. After that, we'll do some more very interesting topics also. So for now, thank you. Goodbye.